Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world. Talked about the team the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. All right, we did the video about Geno Smith extension. I'm pretty pumped about it. He's signed, sealed, delivered. He's ours. He's going to be our quarterback for the next 3 seasons. Now we need to build a team around him. Just like Pete said, we got to build a strong team around the quarterback. That's how you get the best quarterback out there. All right. So there was a really interesting mock draft done by ESPN's Matt Miller. Matt Miller is a really good dude, man. I really like his stuff. I've been reading his stuff since back in the Bleacher Report days when he was there and he was their draft analyst guy. This guy's really smart. He really makes a lot of sense in why he picks the picks that he does. And he's pretty comprehensive too. All this stuff makes sense. And I really like how he put together the draft for the Raiders moving forward. And I think you guys are going to like it too. We're going to go through his picks. But before we do, I want to make sure everyone please like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's a great way to support this channel. It's absolutely free. And it's the bare minimum you can do to help support this channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video, which I do appreciate. And Raider Nation is all about Raiders versus the world. So jump on board, man. We're having a great time. I put out videos. Try to put out videos daily. I don't think I've missed a day since I started this whole thing. I started this thing, like 3 months ago, I think. I don't think I've missed a day. I have something out there every single day. At least I try to. So I'm working hard for you guys. I hope you guys appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe and really help us out. All right, guys, let's get to it. All right, we got 9 picks to get to, so let's just jump right into it, okay? Matt Miller is a smart dude. I love his stuff, and he kind of backs up for every pick that he has for us, and they all make sense. So let's start with the first round, pick 6 overall. He has the Las Vegas Raiders taking T-Mac, Ted McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. Now, I understand the video does look bad. The video of him saying he doesn't like watching football, he doesn't like watching tape, he only watches it during meetings, stuff like that. Well, look, he was 19 years old. He probably was all full of himself, and he was just having a casual conversation. I think he understands by this point that if you're going to be a successful NFL player and make that big money, you have to be more than just physical traits, because everyone in the NFL has physical traits. I've heard it from a lot of players who go to the combine and they're like, damn, I'm used to being the best guy out here. And I'm looking around and there's the best guys of the best guys of the best guys. So not just all the best players from my team or my area or that went to my school, the best players of college across the country. And then on top of that, you get the best players from their years already in the NFL. You got to work hard up here as much as you do on your body. So hopefully Ted McMillan got the memo and is able to go ahead and kickstart that part of his repertoire as far as building his mind and as well as building his body. Ashton Jeanty was a very popular pick. I'm torn what to do. I would be honest with you. If I had to make the pick and T-Mac was available or Ashton Jeanty was available, I would probably go Ashton Jeanty. But I do like the rationale that Matt Miller has to say. Matt Miller's intimated that the Raiders give the Geno Smith, the quarterback, a big extension. They don't want to just hand the ball off all the time. Now, they want to run the ball, but they also want to pass it. And honestly, outside of Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers, there's really not any other targets on the team right now. People really like Trey Tucker and everything, but he had under 100 targets, but over 600 routes run. That was one of the worst ratios in the NFL. And if you saw my video about some of the reasons why we need to get a receiver in this draft, you saw that Trey Tucker was one of the worst at creating space in his route running. So we need to have another guy who's able to kind of draw attention from the defense. And Ted McMillan is definitely one of those guys, a physical freak. And I think he would fit really well in this offense. All right, round 2, number 37 overall. Matt Miller from ESPN has the Raiders selecting Trayvon Henderson, running back from Ohio State. Wow, guys. I think things are starting to come together. Henderson is a slashing runner that can do it all. He can pass protect. He can run up the middle. He can run on the outside. He can catch passes. He's good in the screen game. This guy can do everything. Everything that you can ask a running back to do, Trayvon Henderson can do. and he already knows Chip Kelly's offense. It's a great consolation prize, if you want to call it that, for not getting Ashton Jeanty in the first round. You get a guy that can do pretty much everything with a lot less wear and tear in Trayvon Henderson in round 2. Now, again, I do like Ashton Jeanty. I'm not saying anything bad about the guy, but if you're not going to get him, I really like this move here by getting Henderson in the second round. Henderson is going to be a day one starter, like out of the package starting day one, because he can do it all. He doesn't have to come off the field for any downs. He can do everything you ask of him. Plus, if you take a look at it from this perspective, if the draft goes this way, you have Geno Smith as your quarterback. You got Brock Bowers as a one target. You have Trayvon Henderson. You have Ted McMillan. You have Jacoby Myers. That's pretty good, man. A good, solid, young core of skill position players. And Geno Smith's going to be here for 3 or so. It looks like you're going to be able to build something for a few years now with these young players who are kind of elite athletes at their position. So you're looking to really flip around the narrative of this offense. All right, next pick, round 3, number 68 overall. McMillan from ESPN has the Las Vegas Raiders taking Landon Jackson, edge rusher from Arkansas. Dude's got great measurables, man. He's like 6'5", 265. Super long arms. Let me know if this sounds familiar. There's a type. The Raiders have a type. He's physically looks very similar to Maxx Crosby in his length, his height, and the way he's built. He's not quite as refined as a pass rusher yet, and who's to say that he can't be just as relentless over time? But for right now, he's going to be a really good base end. He's going to be really stout against the run. He uses his hands really well. He's really violent at the point of attack, and he's a good pass rusher. His pass rushing skills aren't there yet, but he's relentless. He's tenacious. He's a guy that can play really good opposite of Maxx Crosby. And look, I know we have Malcolm Koonce. I know we just gave him a lot of money, but it's not like a running back position. It's not like a quarterback where you have one, you don't need another one. More than one defensive end edge rusher play at the same time. So it's okay to have another edge rusher in the third round if you want to create a really strong defensive line. Trust me, guys, this is a good pick, because you're strengthening a part of your defense that's going to be the motor that runs the defense. Last season, our defense fell apart because the defensive line got hurt. We were missing 3 out of the 4 projected starters for the beginning of the year, and the whole defense fell apart. You have to keep stacking chips on the parts of your team that are good to make them great. I'm not saying Landon Jackson is a great player, but he would be a great fit for this defensive line. All right, up next in round 4, selection number 108 overall is Dorian Strong, cornerback out of Virginia Tech. All right, let me know if this sounds familiar. Dorian Strong is 6'1", 190 corner. Yeah, I think all our corners are like 6 foot, 6'1", 190. It's one thing that you can say about Pete Carroll is he's consistent. He has a body type that he likes, and he knows what he wants to go for because he knows how he wants to play defense. He wants to play these corners tight. He wants to have an aggressive ball-hawking defense. And the way you do that is you get guys that can really get up in those receivers' grills and disrupt routes. Now, Dorian Strong wasn't the best in man-to-man coverage in college. He excelled more in zone, but he had a really good press technique towards the red zone, so he can do it. It's just maybe some mechanical things with his footwork and his hips to be able to stay with these receivers in the top of routes. I think we're going to be able to handle that. Pete Carroll is really good in working with the secondary, and with the pressure that the front four is going to be able to get without having to blitz, there should be really tight lanes for the quarterbacks to throw into. That should really play into the hands of the long-armed, lengthy DBs of the Raiders. All righty, the other shoe finally drops in the 5th round, number 143 overall. McMillan from ESPN has the Las Vegas Raiders taking Will Howard, quarterback from The Ohio State University. Look, Will Howard has the arm talent, man. He's shown that he has the arm talent and the ability to lead a big-time program to a lot of success. He's really good in play action, and Chip Kelly just happens to like to run play action a lot. So I really do think that this is a perfect pick for him to go to a situation where Will Howard has played his best with Chip Kelly. He's going to need some refinement in his footwork, also in his reading the field, downfield throws. He had a lot of these throws kind of baked in the offense because of the way Chip Kelly runs his offense, a lot of misdirection, stuff like that. Good thing is that's not going to change for the foreseeable future because Chip Kelly is going to be our offensive coordinator for a few years at least. Now, what needs to happen with Will Howard is he needs to develop his ability to match his pre-snap read, which is with his post-snap snapshot. If he can kind of combine those and be able to get a good read of what defenses are trying to do and trying to trick him he's going to be a lot better because when he's confident off of play action, he knows exactly where to go with the ball. This guy has an electric arm. It's not the strongest out there, but it's nice and accurate, and he gets the ball there right when he needs to. Now, as far as Will Howard goes, people ask about questions about him, and the answer is enough, right? How athletic is he? He's athletic enough. How strong is his arm? It's strong enough, right? How good of quarterback he is? Well, he's good enough. Now, is he going to be a great quarterback? We don't know because stranger things have happened. But I think with a natural progression, he got better every year he was in college. I think that natural progression in pros in a system that is well suited for his skill set and that he's familiar with, he could keep growing year after year and potentially be a starter down the road once the Geno Smith contract is up. All right, guys, for all you guys who are like, man, what's going to happen in the late rounds? Here we are, round 6, number 180 overall. The pick is Bryce Cabledew, tackle from Kansas. Hey, everyone's probably thinking, like, who is this dude? Let me tell you something right now. 6'6", 315, ran a sub 540 and a 4.53 cone drill. That's moving for a guy that size. Now, he does have to have a little bit of refinement in his technique, but that's what you take in the 6th round. You take guys with great measurables who need to clean up some of that technique. He probably got through college with just his athleticism and his size. That's not going to happen in the pros, man. These guys are way too good. But if you get a little bit of time to mold these guys, this is what you want to do. You want to get these high ceiling guys who have these great measurables and be able to coach them up. I don't think anyone on this staff is afraid to teach and afraid to coach, not just wanting to implement. And getting a guy like Cabledew is going to be a big dividend going forward when he starts games in a couple of seasons. All right, we got another pick in the 6th round, number 213 overall. And McMillan from ESPN has us taking Chase Lund, tackle from UConn. Dude, this guy is tall. He's 6'8", only about 305 pounds, though. So, yeah, as you can probably guess, he has a little bit of a trouble anchoring. And I think that's all due to his slight frame. He's thinner, and he needs to get a little bit of bulk. If he can bulk up maybe 15, 20 pounds, maybe even, 25, who knows? But if he can get that at 6'8", he has the frame to carry that weight. If he can do that naturally in the right way, he's going to be able to anchor a little bit more. Now, his arms are a little bit shorter, so he's not really an option for left tackle, but he can be a swing tackle for right now and be able to grow into the position and maybe start at right tackle, maybe even kick inside. Imagine a 6'8" guard. That'd be crazy. He has the movement skills, though, so if he can do that, these are the type of guys that you want to take. Athletic guys who got good measurables and who can play but just have a couple of technique things they need to get over. Maybe the ceiling isn't super high with Lunt, but the floor is really high. So you're going to get a reliable player who's going to be able to get some snaps from you if you need them, as soon as the first season. And if you can do that and develop them along the road, you have a nice little piece on the offensive line moving forward. All righty, a couple of picks later in the 6th round at 215th, the Raiders are mocked at selecting Hayden Conner, guard from Texas. Another high floor, middling ceiling, a player on the offensive line. Again, we need attention to the offensive line, and you get these guys that are coming in here who are going to be good players, but who knows? If they develop the right way, they can become above average starters. That's the thing with Hayden Conner. He can be that guy. He fits really well in the type of timing-based offense that Chip Kelly runs. He can move. He doesn't have a problem pulling. He's really good at blocking in space. These are all things that Chip Kelly really likes. So I really like this pick out of Texas for the Las Vegas Raiders. Another guy that you can start playing in a pinch pretty much in the first season. And when you develop him, you have a nice little piece on your offensive line, building a young, inexpensive offensive line for years to come. All right. That's enough of that, okay? 3 picks in a row on the offensive line. I love the offensive line, but, that's 3 picks in a row. So I think right now we're going to go with a little bit of flash. And Daquan Felton from Virginia Tech, that's flash. All right, when you talk about Daquan Felton, you're talking about measurables here, okay? Dude is 6'5", 215, 220, depending on when you weigh him. Runs a 4.5 40. This guy's measurables, okay? If you want a possession receiver, a guy who can play that kind of like power slot role, like a big guy in the slot who can go over the middle and catch passes and get first downs, this is your guy. He's not great after the catch. He's kind of clunky. He's not great against the zone and kind of like finding the pockets quickly and turning around. He's going to need to get some coaching on that, but it's a 7th-round guy, and the guy's 6'5", and he's over 200 pounds. So the guy has measurables that you can work with here. He's going to be a nice target in the red zone as well. You have Ted on one side, Felton on the other. Those are some big, tall receivers. He's going to need some help in his route running. But again, you're getting him in the 7th round. You get a guy in the 7th round who can go out there and play special teams. He can be a red zone target right away. You got Brock Bowers over the middle. You got Ted on one side. You got Jacoby Myers on the other side. You know, you got Felton moving around. Like, this looks like a nice offense that we can maybe get some things done in the red zone and also in short yardage as well. This is why I like this mock draft. You hit a lot of key targets that we have. Now that we signed Devin White, linebacker isn't a huge priority, right? Now we got a corner for the secondary. We got a guy on the edge for the defensive line to strengthen that. Guys can move in and out of inside, outside on that defensive line, play all over the place. You can stack them. You can play these guys together in different combinations. That's what's great about having a versatile defensive line. Offensive line, we have a little bit of a depth issue with the offensive line, but you added 3 high floor, middling to high middle ceilings on these guys. You just need a little bit of seasoning and to get coached up. You got your quarterback of the future, a developmental guy. You got your running back of the now, and you got your receiver of the now. This seems like a really good way to move forward if you're building a team to win now, but also win in the future. All right, guys, that's my time. I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think of this mock draft, man. Look, don't get hung up so much on the actual player themselves. Just look at the positions and where they were drafted and what the overall thinking was behind this draft and how to make this team stronger. No one can predict what 32 teams are going to do, so you can't predict exactly what player you're going to get at what spot, but you can see the logic moving forward. That's why I really like McMillan and the work that he does. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Make sure to please everyone like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's a great way to support this channel. It's absolutely free, and of course, it's the bare minimum you can do to support this channel besides doing absolutely nothing and watching the video, and I do appreciate that. But again, everyone in Raider Nation is doing it. You guys should do it too. We've only been up and running for what, 3 months? I'm already up close to 2,000 subscribers to this channel here, and it's all because of you guys. This is all us. I do it for you guys. I try to get a video out every single day. I think I've had a video out every single day. I want to make sure that I get the content to you guys. And this is like the off season. Imagine when the real season comes, what's going to happen. A lot of news for us. Really appreciate you guys. That's my time, everybody. Until next time. Peace. Hey, Raider Nation. Thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button. Drop a comment. Make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.